Hello, hello.
Hey, Jam Fam, what's happening out there in the big wide world?
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
How you doing?
I'm great. I'm just sitting here thinking about some of our favorite episodes.
Awesome. Yes, we are definitely working on a lot of brand new episodes,
Yep.
And we've got some really great things coming your way too. So
Be prepared for it to be raw and real as always, and as we continue to move on in this journey. And in the meantime, we want to just share with you that we're going to do a couple of rebroadcasts of some of our favorite episodes.
Yep. So for the next few weeks, enjoy some of our favorite SMRE, Sex, Money, Real Estate episodes thus far. And what do we have for them today, love?
Today, we are going to share our very first episode about orgasmic meditation.
It's a great day to be juicy.
Yes, it is.
Ooh, awesome.
So, why do you love that episode?
I love this episode because it combines and connects the energy, the sexual energy of creation with business. And so we talk about how we utilize this practice to manifest in our business out of manifesting with ourselves. So, the personal, it comes from personal and it flows into business, but we go into the actual practice of it and what we do and what the heck this thing really is. So
cool.
Why do you love it?
I love it because it's really a great time for you and I to be intimate with each other. I know that it gives you time to be intimate with yourself, and it does the same for me as well. So it's kind of like separate and together at the same time.
Independent, interdependent, and synergistic.
Yes, all at the same time. So enjoy the episode, and as always, leave us some feedback about what you think about this or any other episode, please.
Yes. We'll talk to you soon.
See you on the other side.
Bye.
Welcome to the Sex, Money, and Real Estate Podcast, the show for real estate couples about how to close more deals in the bedroom. My name is Bill Jameson.
And I'm Nancy Jameson.
And each week we deep dive into juicy, intentional, sexy conversations, sharing with you what it takes to create balance in your intimate relationships and your real estate business. Thank you so much for being here. Shall we begin? Hey, baby.
What's up, handsome?
Hanging out in the glow of the orgasmic meditation practice that we just partook in.
I wonder how many orgasmic meditations we've done total.
I wonder how many orgasmic meditations have gone on this ship.
We are on this beautiful cruise right now, sailing around the Western Caribbean.
Yes. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. We're definitely enjoying this Christmas vacation right now. Not to be confused with the movie. And
no, definitely not that.
And one of the things that Nancy and I have chosen to practice over the last several years is a practice called orgasmic meditation. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Or OMing.
Or OMing, yep, short for OMing. And Nicole Dadone is the lady that introduced us to it. Not that we've met her personally, but we read her book, and her book's called
Slow Sex.
Slow Sex.
The Art of the Female Orgasm.
Yeah, it's a beautiful title for sure.
Yes.
And so we read the book together as one of those, we have on and off over the years chosen to read a book at the same time, and that was one of them. And we read that one cover to cover, and in that book, Nicole talks about different ways or different strategies for creating an orgasmic meditation. And we followed it. And it has led us to, again, practicing it for several years.
And so the purpose of the orgasmic meditation is to solely focus on the woman having an orgasm without any expectations tied to it. So just to experience, well, there's no just about it. It's to experience the gloriousness and the deliciousness of the orgasm. And so it's, the sexual energy associated with experiencing an orgasm is the most powerful creative energy in the world. And so when we utilize the practice of orgasmic meditations, we're very intentional about how we're utilizing that energy through the practice of setting intentions. And so if we were going to back up a little bit here, we wanted to share with you our practice of why we use the orgasmic meditation in business and our personal life, and how we use it, and literally what we go through to, you know, from start to finish. And it's been extraordinary for our relationship. It's been extraordinary for me personally to experience a whole nother level of healing for me, and allows me to really experience my body and my emotions and the feelings and all of the tremendous healing that comes up to where with it. And then, well, how do you experience yourself? Like, what are some of the benefits that you've had from it?
Well, I mean, one of the greatest benefits has been really the connection to you, for sure. You know, it's been totally beautiful. And, anytime that you're in a meditative state, you know, you have a choice to also get more connected to yourself. So I really have found where, when we enter into these OMs, that I just leave all expectation behind, and I have an opportunity to calm my mind and be uber present to, you know, where I am and what I'm doing, and go through the process without expectation. You know, I love that you talked about having an orgasm during the orgasmic meditation, but there are times when you don't have an orgasm during an orgasmic meditation. And, you know, I personally am not tied to any expectation. You know, I'm not looking for, to put a bow on it. You know, you gotta have this kind of release at the end, you know, to harness the sexual energy. You don't, you know, it's being in the juiciness of it and the flow of it, and being able to transmute that into creation. And that's been the that's something that Nicole does not, I don't think she talks about in the book, is transmuting the sexual energy. And that's something else that we've learned over the years as well, that it being the greatest energy, that you can, you know, use it for all kinds of creation. Healing.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome.
So, you know, going back to the book and going by the book a little bit, the orgasmic meditations for us start out as, again, reading the book, and what ends up, it's kind of funny going back to the basics here, because it's been a while since I've gone through it. But,
yeah, we've definitely evolved it, that's for sure.
But, you know, the woman essentially lays on her back, and according to the book, the man stays dressed, and the woman...
Well, the partner stays dressed.
The partner stays dressed.
This can go between woman to woman, or man to man, or woman to man. Or...
So the person performing the act of the stroke, we're going to call it the stroke for now and give you context later, stays dressed, and the woman, and it could be a man too, that is receiving, stays essentially half dressed. You know, from the waist up is dressed, and legs are butterflied and splayed, legs up on pillows so that you're, you know, ultimately comfortable, and you find some lubricant.
I'm going to back up for a second.
Okay.
We need to prepare the nest.
Oh, the nest.
Yes.
Okay.
So the nest is, again, this is all according to the book. So the nest is a blanket of choice. And then, you know, again, it's usually 4 pillows, 1 for the head, 2 for the legs, and then 1 for the OMer to sit on. And then you can obviously use what pillows you want to use or what pillows you don't want to use. And so the nest is prepared by the OMer. And then again, you know, leads the person receiving the OM into the nest, and, you know, essentially is creating the space for this intimate act to take place. And so once you're inside the nest, this is where Bill and I have we deviate a little bit. So we set intentions for what it is that we are looking to heal, that we're interested in manifesting, again, whether it's business or personal things, and in like our personal life, our relationships, or with our family, friends, that sort of thing. And then, multiply. How do we create sustainable joy from these things? So it's very intentional in how we move and direct the energy. And so we have a OMing blanket, and we have certain OMing pillows that we use all the time. So the energy of that Om is always flowing within those items. And then that's when we get to the position of the legs. And then when the Om-er, we're going to call it Bill in this case. And so I'm receiving the Om. So Nancy's receiving the Om, and Bill is sitting on the pillow. And then you literally get in between my legs and you describe my yoni.
Oh yeah,
which is extraordinary.
Always a beautiful act as well. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, ladies don't necessarily get to see their yonis, let alone have a man describe them.
Oh my gosh. The first time that you described, just the thought of you describing what my vagina looked like was terrifying. What is it going to look like? What's it going to smell like? What's he going to see? What's it going to, am I waxed enough? Is there not enough hair? Is there too much hair? I'm Italian, so. So it was important that, it's always important that I stay cleaned up and manicured and everything. But there was definitely a lot of monkey chatter going on in my head around what it was that you were going to see. Because just like you said, we got to get a mirror and hike a leg up on a vanity and use lighting.
And you're probably not necessarily complimenting, how pretty your pussy is looking.
No, not at all. Not at all. So that was definitely a very vulnerable state. And so that first part, before we even get into the stroke, was just like extraordinary. So yeah, I was trying to remember some of the things that you said the first time. But we've had so many Oms since then.
Yeah, and some of the descriptions are similar and some are not, depending upon where we are that day and where our energy is. And and sometimes it's very poetic and sometimes it's not, and it's all beautiful in between. So yeah, it's cool. So going through and creating that space where the lady or Nancy gets to hear how beautiful her yoni really is something for me too, because I get to I really get to stretch myself and dive into really what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling. And there's probably not too many guys out there, unless they're in this practice, that hang out and say, wow, this really is just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So, it helps me to at least be more expressionate, I guess is really what I'm leading up to. So, yeah, so there's that, and we always, not part of the book, because we always set intentions for the Om, like you talked about. And again, it could be business or personal or for the moment or for the week or the year, depending on where we're at. And then we pretty much dive in, so to speak. The Om itself is 15 minutes, no more and no less, the actual act of the Om. And so the man comes back around, or the partner comes back around. We're gonna say man and woman today, because that's Nancy's and my experience in the moment. And I'll sit, with one leg hiked over her stomach and the other one under her legs, and I will put on usually some coconut oil, something super slippery that is going to last for 15 minutes. I'll put some coconut oil on my thumb and a little bit more on my finger. The thumb is inserted into her yoni, and a timer is set for 15 minutes around that same moment. And my other hand, my left hand, is up above on her clitoris, but not right on it, over to the left just a little bit. So it's just kind of like brushing a little bit, and super soft touch, right? Super soft stroke
Yep.
if you will.
And there's lots of videos on this. Like you could search Nicole Daedone or OMing or Orgasmic Meditation on YouTube, which is actually very helpful. We watched one of those videos a couple times before, just to get a sense of what it was actually to look like. So.
And there's a TED Talk on it too. And then she do a TED Talk?
Yeah.
So there's plenty of material out there. If, we're not exactly painting the picture here, there is plenty of material out there to, like Nancy said, on YouTube and videos. And Nicole's site, I'm sure, has plenty of stuff on there too. So, and you can always get the book. Yeah, so, it's 15 minutes of very light touch. I'm not really, moving my thumb around too much. And I know that, at least for myself, that I am going through in my head the intentions that that we set previous to starting the practice.
Yep. Yeah, I do that too. I roll the intentions around. So, it could be the number of closings that we want for the month, or it could be, how, we want to create this amazing international trip, or it could be to heal. There's lots of healing that has come up through the orgasmic meditation around self-worth and just, painful situations growing up that I would run through my head as I was going into this OM and this really like this delicious space of pleasure, and just completely recontextualizing the story. And then through the touch and like through the release and surrendering and re-scripting the painful moment or trauma, if you will, and it just allows me the space to do that. And so there's been lots of healing associated with it. I had really shitty body image conversation, and through the act of being so incredibly vulnerable and trusting Bill to take care of me and like to hold the space, not really take care of me per se, but just like hold the space for me to be vulnerable and to surrender in the moment is it's extraordinary. So, to have a strong partner be able to hold that space and I would cry if I needed to cry, or there's been a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but a few times that I've sobbed, or sometimes I'll laugh, or and again or smile, and I experience a lot of energy pulsating through my body, and so I'll have like these extraordinary visions or manifestations or dreams, if you will, about again just moving those intentions around and through, and it's been very powerful. It's been very powerful. There's been many times that he and I will be experiencing the same color or the same not necessarily the same vision, but like the same feeling,
almost like the same download, like the spiritual download, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. And it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating, because as we're coming out of the OM experience and we, get into the space where we move into work mode, it's probably 99% of the time that we get a piece of business out of at least one piece of business out of like piece of business that closes. It's fascinating. I would say 99% of the time.
Another word or another phrase for an OM or part of it is an abundant loving lesson, or an all. Mm-hmm. And we do say that when we're alling, someone is calling.
Yes, when we're alling, someone's calling, or the isness is in the business.
Yeah, exactly. So it really is fascinating. And as we've grown to trust each other and as partners and in so many different ways, the trust and the surrender. And not having, necessarily like an agenda as we go through it, has led to many other things cropping up around us that we never expected, like the natural byproduct of people calling for more business while we're actually in the love lesson. Mm-hmm. So, no, totally beautiful. So then the timer goes off after 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we do some grounding. And because sometimes, a lot of times, Nancy is definitely on a different plane, maybe on a different planet, never know. So we, the hands come off gently, and I usually end up pressing on her legs and rubbing her feet a little bit, and just really just taking our time to get back to get grounded again and get back to being present exactly where we are and what we're doing next.
Mm-hmm.
So and we take some time after that, a few more minutes to frame up what we experienced during the OM as well.
Yep.
Whether it is the colors or a download about the business or the kids or each other, or it could be, who knows. I mean, we have the downloads. You just never know what you're going to come up with when you surrender to the process.
Mm-hmm. Right, because it's a meditation, so we experience downloads. I mean, all the time. An extraordinary thing. So it's yeah.
So I feel like, Nance, that we may actually expound upon this again another time.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can see that. And answer questions or something like
totally.
that. Yeah.
And for now, I think that's great for the basics. It's probably a little bit beyond the basics, actually.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important. I think it's important. So there's one more thing that I'd like to share, is that we, over the course of, the last couple of years, we've definitely realized that we're big music people anyway. And so we enjoy having music in the background as part of the OMing process. And we choose to have, we've actually created a funky OM station on Pandora, but we choose to have music without words because we would prefer not to have the words influence, the idea of, or interject, any kind of anything really into the OM space. So it's instrumental. So, take your pick on instruments and musical style, but
think spa experience.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's our stuff.
So anyway,
yeah,
cool.
Sometimes we'll do piano, sometimes we'll do, violin or something like that. But traditionally it is more like that W spa feel without words. So there was that. And then obviously if you have any questions or comments or feelings, feel free to DM us at Sex Money Real Estate on Insta, and or email us too. Connect with us. Connect at jamesonandcompany.com, and we'll definitely reach out and hit you back. So
that's it. And then we'll also post links to Nicole's book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Anything else we can find that might be.
We should do the video link too. We'll do the
anything else that's relevant to this.
Cool.
So awesome. So have a beautiful day to all, and we are going to date this a little bit again, this recording, because I'm going to say it is December 31st of 2019.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
And we owned this morning, and we set intentions for the year on this one.
Yeah.
Kind of a verbal vision board, if you will, that we'll probably create a vision board out of. So that'll be fun too. So happy New Year to all, and be prosperous and be surrendered, and love yourself and love others, and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. We love you. Remember, it's a great life.
Wow, what a show. Thank you so much for listening. And if you're inspired, we ask that you share the podcast with one person and subscribe and follow the show. I'm Bill Jameson.
And I'm Nancy Jameson.
And remember, it's
a great life.